What's going on, everybody? James here, RedemptionAgency.com. 21 years selling on eBay. 21 years. It'll be 22 in August of this year. So, that's not the way I wanted to start my day. It almost seems like now you can, if you really want to, you can really screw over a buyer on eBay. Or, I mean, a seller on eBay. All right. To give you some context, there was this Morchiba cassette I sold. No big deal. It wasn't high dollar or anything. And item was delivered December 19th or 16th or something. 19th it was. He emailed me saying he did not get it. I said, well, tracking shows you did get it. I'm sorry. Check with your neighbor, your post office, your postal person, and somebody in your house. That's my normal MO. When it says delivered and somebody's saying they're not, because I've had times where it's delivered to a neighbor's house or somebody in the house has picked it up and placed it somewhere. And so those are just my normal MO advice to give, because I can't do nothing on this end because it's delivered. So he apparently opened up a thing at the Postal Service, an investigation. And of course that was closed with no ending because it was delivered. So he filed with his credit card company. And this is like a $4 cassette, right? Actually, probably wasn't even $4. So I get an email from eBay saying there's a dispute with the credit card company. And the kicker on this one, I haven't had this statement on any other credit card dispute, was you must have a copy of the paper receipt showing the tracking number. And that, I'm like, who does that? Nobody goes into the post offices and ships items one by one. You got a scan form. It's all done online. So I see this, and I'm kind of like, I'm upset. I'm like, no. So I took screenshots on eBay, the tracking number showing it was delivered, uploaded it to the dispute. After I did that, I called in. I go, look, can you look at this for me? It's saying it was delivered. There's a dispute with the credit card company. It's saying it wants paper receipts. Nope, this is 2022. Nobody's doing paper receipts. I've been doing this 21 years, sell hundreds of thousands of items, et cetera, et cetera. So on that phone call, she took care of it from what I understood. It was closed. I'm not sure like how it was closed, if it was like in my favor or whatever. I don't remember that. I just know it was closed because my main concern was not the money. It was a strike on my account. And the fact that it says delivered, and it was a weird situation that after 21 years I've never been in before. Paper receipts, and I have to have that or it's going to come back against me, it seemed like. So she supposedly took care of it, and it was all done and well, and no issues. His negative feedback he left on my was taken off because it says delivered. So no big deal there. So I got an email this morning when I woke up saying the dispute was in the buyer's favor, and they're taking an extra $20 from my account, plus I guess I get a strike on my account or whatever. So I'm like, no, item says delivered. So I call in, and they had to transfer me to their dispute team. Very nice lady, but I guess she's outside of the country, and there was definitely a communication breakdown. I felt like she kind of knew what she was doing, but she wasn't very good with conveying it to me. So I'm starting to get a little bit heated. I'm like, it's showing delivered. I don't understand this. How can somebody do this? That means anybody, anywhere could do this to a seller. If this person can do it on a $4 cassette, right? I mean, literally feel like I'm getting screwed right now. So this is where the communication breakdown is, because what all the stuff she was saying, the way she was saying it, I'm taking it as I'm screwed. I'm like, so I'm trying to stay calm. I'm like I said, it's not about the money. It's about the strike on my account. So I'm like, I don't care about the money. I don't even care about the $20. I just don't want the strike on my account. I did nothing wrong here. And finally, literally, probably after 10 minutes of going back and forth with her, and I'm not saying this toward any down on her. She's a very nice lady. It was just communication breakdown with the language, I guess. So she ended up saying, I'll get the $20 back, basically. And I'm like, does that meaning the case is closed and I have no strike on my account? And she couldn't answer that. Or it didn't even seem like she knew what I was talking about. I'm like, I don't care about the money. I just don't want my account striked because of this issue. And she couldn't give me that answer. And I go, well, if you're saying that I'm getting the $20 back, I am taking it that it's not going to go against my account. And then she finally said, the repeal for me was granted. Or the appeal for me was granted. I'm like, okay, so that should mean I have no strike on my account. And she goes, she couldn't answer. She's like, you'll get $20. I'll get the $20 back. I'm like, okay, I will take it as that. I will leave it alone. So now I'm just waiting for an email saying it was appealed in my favor and stuff. So I'm hoping that's what happens. I just don't want to strike on my account. Yeah, I don't have no email yet, so I don't know. Ah, here we go. Here we go. All right. The buyer received your refund. Wait a minute, what? Oh, yeah, and that's another thing. I'll talk about another thing that first just happened this morning. And after this situation, I didn't want to deal with it. I just gave the refund. I'm like, I'm not even going to freaking deal with it. I don't know if it's in my favor or not, so I'm just refunding it. I don't care. So let's see. The dispute fee has been refunded. Thanks for your patience. We know the disputes can be an inconvenience, so please let us know. No, we appreciate your understanding. We reviewed your appeal and determined that this dispute is not eligible for the eBay seller protection. However, as a courtesy, we refunded the $20. So I guess I do got a strike against my account. She just refunded the money as a courtesy. Really? Really? So I can get a strike on my account now, even though the item shows delivered. I do not understand that bullcrap. I really don't. And yes, I know by middle of the day, I'm going to be like, oh, it's only one thing, no big deal. Yes, I know that. But I'm protective of my account. This is my livelihood and has been for 21 years. I'm protective of it. So I try to take care of everybody. So the fact that I feel like I'm not being taken care of is upsetting to me. So and it probably won't show up in percentage-wise anyway right now, so it ain't really going to matter. So, and I know I had one against me about a month ago, which I didn't really understand. I didn't dig into it like I did today. I'm just like, screw it. So I'm still going to one thing ain't going to hurt anything, but the fact that we as sellers can get screwed like this now makes no, I mean, if this was a $200 item, then I'm going to be concerned about the money on top of everything else. So that's just not right. That's all. I mean, if it's show and deliver, that's stealing. You got the money from your credit card company and you got the item. That's stealing. So the second one I got was a Clica or Activate and Television video game. Going down to Brazil, it was held by customs saying it's an item cannot be. Well, let me give you the exact words. Let me I got to open the thing. It was held by customs and basically it wasn't allowed into the country. And total price was like $15. I'm just like, I don't care. I'm not even going to fight this one. Here's your money. Take it. Be gone. Because it didn't technically show delivered, but it shows it made it to their customs. And technically, I would think that that would still be in my favor, but I didn't care. I'm like, I don't care. Don't care. Give them the money back. Don't need that today on top of this other thing. So, yes, I'm kind of upset about that. And then the post office has been losing stuff left and right. I've got 3 open cases I'm kind of trying to hold off. And I'll probably look at them today. And if there's no movement on the thing, I'm just going to refund them because I don't want those strikes on my account. So I've been trying to hold them off until the tracking shows that whether it has been delivered. And that's 3 different cases there. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and look now just so I don't have to deal with it. And it accidentally, or not accidentally, but closes today. I don't want to deal with that crap. So this first one was Dangerous Man Brewing shirt. Date sold was the 20th of December. And last scan was December 21st. So I'm guessing that one's lost. That's going to be a total of $15 refund. Let me email them first so they don't leave a negative feedback. So what I do on stuff like this is send buyer the message first through the eBay dispute thing. Looks like the UPS lost the item. So sorry for the issue. I am going to send you a refund. Please let me know if it does show up. Sorry again, James. And then I'm going to put, I'll let you know if it comes back to me. I'll let you know if for some reason it is DEO. One of those days where I know how to spell, but I can't spell. Get the O out of there. It's I, dummy. And since I got 3 of these, I'm just going to copy that and paste it so I can copy it again later and paste it. All right. And use the same one so I don't have to keep typing the same thing over and over again. Send the message. And now I refund the buyer. Because it's not their fault that it's lost in the mail. And I guarantee everything. It's the fact that when it's showing delivered and it goes against me, that's where I'm not happy. I am not happy. So I guess I am screwed by eBay. Or by they're tied to the credit card companies, I guess. I don't know. Refund processing. All right, so that one's taken care of. So I don't have to worry about that. Oh, and if you're waiting around, I do got a cool, bigger dollar item that sold. It's been in the store for a little while, but I found it at my honey hole. So you'll want to stay around for that. I just want to take care of this right quick. All right. Doo-doo. All right. All right, where was I? There we go. All right, the second one was a Fedora for a total of $15. Sent December 26th. December 27th was the last day scanned. Send message. Copy said message. Send. So there's $30 gone. Refund the buyer. So we're up to $45, negative $45 already before I start so far. But I did get that 20 back, so I guess I could take that off there. So it could be more than negative 45 right now. And hopefully that situation is just few and far between, because I've never had a situation like that. Especially one saying I have to have a paper receipt. If that's something new they're doing, that's not good for any of us. That means the credit card company is going to win every time. I mean, this is online sales. It's unless there's something I don't know about that I'm missing. And I asked the person at the place, you know, at eBay, like, how am I going to have a paper receipt? All right, next up we got a DVD. Alrighty. See if it was delivered yet or not. And that was bought on the 22nd. That's $11. It was actually scanned today in Detroit, Michigan. So, and it was sent December 22nd. So that's why I got a feeling those other items are going to show up. They're just kind of, with the holidays and the way USPS is, as we all know, that's why I was kind of holding off, because this was mailed out on the 22nd. It didn't get scanned for the first time till yesterday. And then it got scanned today. And that's what I told them. I'm like, sometimes with media mail, it's like, well, with media mail, it's usually the last items that they deal with at the post office. Also, sometimes it does not go through their normal processing center for some reason. So it doesn't, sometimes does not get scanned until it gets sometimes to your front door. So I let them know that. So I'm going to send this person an email through there and go, looks like it's been scanned today. Let me make sure they're in Michigan. Yes, Saginaw. To let them know that it was scanned today, just in case they get a trigger finger and want to leave negative. Right? Or just to let them know so their mind's at ease, if you will. And your item in Michigan, and should be there soon. Sorry for the USPS delay. And I make sure I put that in there because a lot of buyers don't understand that it's not us, it's the Postal Service. And I don't want this person to leave a negative saying that is, you know, putting it on me. Let them understand that it is the Postal Service. So if they do leave bad feedback, at least there should be some more context to it than just, I'm bad, you know, so. I couldn't sleep last night. I got up at 2 o'clock, started pulling at 2 o'clock. I shouldn't have went thrifting yesterday with the sinus issues because it seems like I screwed everything up again. And now my head's clogged again. So I guess rummaging around in clothes was not a good thing to do. So I'm going to save that email just to check back on it later today or tomorrow. So the other two's closed, so I can get rid of those. And these things, I'm just going to move into my account or into my email, because I might call in again and talk to somebody else and see if they have a clear picture of the situation. So, yeah, so that's, oh, that's just not right. It's not right. It's delivered. Frustrating. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. All right, let's get into this and get this stuff shipped out. Yeah, so I got up at 2. Came down, did some pulling, finally crawled back into bed about 3:30. Did like a breathing treatment thing before I got in bed and took more sinus meds. And I got up this morning at 6, let the dogs out, took more sinus meds. Went back to bed, crawled out of bed about 9:15. So we're at 10:30 right now because I've been dealing with that stuff. So let's at least get into this, get this stuff shipped out. All right, Jimmy Skinner vinyl. Sold for $11. Headed to Teaneck, New Jersey. Yeah, that's just not right. Not right. Yeah, I hope that's not a thing where all credit card companies now, if there's a dispute, it's going to say you have to have a paper receipt. Like, I've never seen that before. Never had to deal with that before. Every time there was a dispute, I just put in the tracking number from eBay, and it was a done deal. eBay covered it. They had to give the money back to the credit card people. So maybe this is an eBay thing, not a credit card thing. Maybe this is how eBay is going to cover their butt. You know, I didn't even think of that. If that's eBay changing the rules there, knowing that we do not have paper receipts, that's wrong. I hope that's not what's happening here. Let me know if you have any payment disputes lately and if it said that. Because if that is a new norm, first off, it's not right with online sellers. Second off, if it's whoever did it, it's covering their butt so they don't lose so much money, whether that's the credit card company or eBay. If that's eBay, that's really going to upset me. I didn't even think of that. I mean, why would... Because if that's the case, every dispute is going against the seller from here on out, if that's the new norm. Unless you walk... Am I supposed to walk all the 70 items into the post office today and have them individually scanned onto a receipt? I'm going to, when I drop off my scan forms today, I am going to ask if there's some kind of receipt or paper that breaks it all down. I know you get I have gotten before a small receipt that just shows I scanned the main scan number, but it doesn't break them down. I won't worry about it today, but that's an avenue I guess I could look into if another one pops up. Because I have got a receipt, like I said, that shows the scan form was scanned, but that doesn't break it down for each individual tracking number to each individual destination. I'm talking too much, I'm sorry. I hate my sinuses. What is my 5 not working? Like, work. Yeah, that's... Yeah, if you just recently had a dispute for a credit card, let me know if it said you must have a paper receipt on yours. And I would have liked to ask more questions while I was on the phone with her, but I couldn't get lack of communication is just made that not possible. So we got an Oklahoma fridge magnet. Sold for $5, headed to Sparta, Tennessee. Please don't let that be eBay screwing us sellers. Please don't let that be. Because that would not be nice. Not nice at all. All right, next up, we've got an Air Force ball cap. Sold for $9.50, headed to Monroe, North Carolina. nice and nice, that's all. Next up, we got this A-Stars t-shirt. Sold for $9.50. Headed to Bentonville, Arkansas. Well, let's move forward, shall we? Let's get past that. It's done. It's over. At this point, I'm not doing nothing more, so let it go. Let it go. So yeah, yesterday I went out. Jan was off. She wanted to go to Menards anyway to get some, look at their Christmas clearance stuff. Because if you don't know, we're just going to give her a hobby. She's always loved going into Christmas shops, which I did too, so she's going to do the living room Christmas all year long, basically, themes. So she was looking at clearance Christmas stuff. So I bought 3 shelves and got started in the East Wing. And got those boxes that were all just stacked, organized now. And I got 1 full empty shelf right now. So I'm working on filling that. Taking down those other collapsed ones. And then I'll go buy 3 more. And then I got to shift all that middle stuff over about 5-6 inches. And then I got to order the mid-size boxes to make all those, that middle row fit snug. Snug as a bug in a rug. Hey, Sylvester. All right. So got a lot of clothes yesterday to list. I don't know how many I got listed yesterday watching the Blues game. Maybe 50, 60 or something. I'm not sure. And then got totes more to work on today. All right, looking back, the Jumping 50s 3 8-track lot. Sold for $9. Headed to Urbana, Ohio. Something of that nature. I need mailers. A little big. That's all right. Thought I was grabbing a 1, grabbed a 3. Looking forward, don't look back. There was another 6-hour window overnight where nothing came through. But this time what I did differently was since I was up, I went and got on my computer and took the offers that I did have from before the time shutdown started. It seemed like it was like 11:30 to 6:30, somewhere in there, or 10:30 to 6:30. I don't know, it was in there somewhere. So about 2:30, I accepted a bunch of offers. So that kind of threw, but nobody paid immediately at 2:30 in the morning, I guess. But there was still that block. There were no emails, no offers, and no sales came through. But still did good money-wise yesterday. Let's see. Almost $900, so that's good. And then today we're at 140 at 10:45, so a little light, but Fridays have been light lately for some reason. What that reason is, I'm not sure, but Fridays. Fridays used to be strong. Now they've been a little light for a while now. Depressed Mode CD. Sold for $6, headed to Apex, North Carolina. I never could get into like Depressed Mode and Depeche Mode, The Cure, stuff like that. That's why I never really got too much into a lot of the grunge. I mean, I like Alice in Chains because it has more of that harder edge to it, right? And some of the Soundgarden stuff. But when you get more like depressing, just that feel, you know, Nirvana had that feel for me on most, hell, even their rockin' hits still had that kind of undertone, you know, depression feel. Like, I personally can't do that kind of thing. I don't like being in that state of mind. And thankfully I was, you know, my teens were in the 80s when it was all happy, fun, party music, if you will, basically. So my head has a real hard time with, and I'm not saying it's bad or anything like that. I'm just saying it's not for me. But there are times where I'm in that mood, very little times, and I can put something on and it just kind of feels right. I think the best for me is kind of like Mother Love Bone. Like, I can't do Pearl Jam. I just cannot do Pearl Jam at all. I can't do Eddie's voice. I just can't do it. Never have been able to. I know so many people love Eddie Vedder, but the tone of his voice just, it never registered well with me. But Mother Love Bone, if you don't know, that had members of Pearl Jam before Pearl Jam, and with Andrew Wood was the singer. They still have that kind of low undertone, but there's just something else to it that has almost like that. It's almost like if, you know, Van Halen and Pearl Jam had a baby type of thing, you know. So that's probably like the deepest I go when I'm in that somber-ish feel, just laid back mood. I go Mother Love Bone, but I don't really try to go too deeper than that when it comes to that feeling and that undertone, if you will, is what I like to call it. But I don't know if that makes sense. I don't know. Just not my thing. I like the music I listen to when I want to have a little lull. Like, I don't want the music, you know, when I'm having a lull, I don't want the music to go take me way down, you know. I just like, so I can go back up, right? So there's a lot of like, I got a playlist for ballads and stuff like that, but it's more of stuff that's rides that middle line. It doesn't take you down. Like, here's party fun rock, here's my middle tone, here's like The Cure and Depressed Mode. I'm sorry, I've always called them Depressed Mode, Depeche Mode. So I like staying here and here. So I don't want to go below that line. I'm trying to give you a visual of what goes on into my head, just in case you're not understanding. Because I'm not very good explainer sometimes. I just suck at explaining sometimes. All right, Sloan Implement Company. Boom, boom. Sold for $25. Headed to Potosi. Now, I know some of these companies are allowed to use the John Deere logo, but I don't put John Deere on it if it's not tagged John Deere, even if they did have permission, just because I don't want to take a chance. So I did not put John Deere in the title or anything. And it still sold for $25. So. Don't want to take that chance, you know what I'm saying? Don't need no Vero, because I know John Deere does. I've heard they do Veros. I personally have never had one, thankfully, from them. All right. Shout to the Earth. Christian music. Sold for $13. Headed to Gwinn, Michigan. she goes. Yeah, this big item, I thought I was going to have to tell you guys about it because I figured Adrian would have shipped it last night, but I guess he didn't want to deal with it. So you'll get to see it. We got an Adidas visor. No, that's not it. Sold for $6. Headed to Pineville, Louisiana. So I think I'm staying in the house. You know, I've noticed, I kind of came to a conclusion yesterday too, that my sinuses started getting really bad when we got Vern. So I think, and I know when I get down on the floor and like really pet them, when I get up, I start sneezing and stuff, wheezing and sneezing. So, and then I notice too, when I vacuum, after I'm done vacuuming, I get messed up. So I think from now on, changes I'm gonna make, when I vacuum, I'm putting on a mask, since we've got a buttload of masks from COVID left over. Plus Jan's a pharmacist, so there's always masks around. So when I vacuum, I'm going to wear a mask. So I think maybe I'll get some, I don't know, should I get some air purifiers and maybe just freaking put one big air purifier in every room? I don't know. I got to see what's out there. I've never really investigated into that. So I'll see if there's anything that might ease my pressures, if you will. Ease my pressures. Because I'm not going to be those people who, you know, give up their dogs because of, you know, a health issue or something like that. I mean, if you can't take care of them, yeah, I understand that. But, like, I wouldn't give up my dog because they make me, they give me bad sinus issues. That's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Maybe I need to wash him more. But washing him, it has to be in the summertime because he's so big. I can't get him into my shower. I used to put the dogs in the shower and just turn on the shower, get in there with him in a swimsuit, and he's too big for the shower. So I do it in the summer when we're outside with the hose. But other than that, I'm kind of, maybe I should just get one of those mobile services to come to the house once a week and bathe them. That might help. He would be, it wouldn't be the easiest one to do. Especially if it's a little, you know, a smaller frame lady trying to wash him and keep control of him. Be like a cartoon running down the street or something with her holding on to the leash. Alrighty, we've got Bubba. I always grab these Bubbas. They don't sell for much, but talking Bubba. Sold for $9, headed to Warren, Ohio. What up, Bubba? Can you fit in here? Does this look as cruel as it feels?
Get me out of the bag! Why are you doing this to me? Get me out! I'm gonna suffocate in here! Stop it! You're killing me! Oh, I'm going to die!
I think I put a little bit of my weight back on. I was like down to 185 and I was holding there for a while. When I started getting sick like this, for some reason it makes me eat more. I don't know why. So I've been eating like everything. Just like eating too much. One thing I am hoping though is, let me get another tote here, is since I'm getting more back into clothes again, and my dollar per item rising and stuff like that. Once warm weather gets here, I'll be able to get out and ride my bike like every day. That's the goal. To ride every day. And now I got my new one on the way too, from Jan. All right. Soaring CD. Sold for $6, headed to Port Orchard, Washington. Just said the email. That email just popped in my head again, of course, because the courtesy $20. And I kept telling her, I don't care about the money. I just don't want to strike on my account. Maybe there's not even a strike on my account at that point. Well, I probably is. I don't know. Stop it, James. Move on. You almost moved on. Move on. Move on. You were almost there. Oh, the big item's going to Spain. I did not notice that. I hope I got enough shipping to cover it. Should. We'll see, I guess. All right, next up we got Greatest Hits for the Children You Love, Volume 1, Volume 2 on 8-track. Sold for $18, headed to Penfield, New York. Penfield, New York. It's in there. That's my only international overnight, too. And that wasn't even overnight. That was yesterday. So that makes sense. It's shut down for 6-7 hours overnight. No internationals. That's when you get the internationals. I don't know. So apparently they don't. And then I noticed the other day when it was down, and I told you I woke up with $35 sales. What changed was now when you list an item, you have that new pop-up box where it pops up what it thinks the brand is and the color and stuff like that. So that was new the next day. So I'm guessing they shut the site down, updated that across the board, because the day before I didn't have it, but Amy and Dan had it on their live. And I didn't have it that day. So I got it. There was a shutdown that night, and then I got it the next day. So I'm guessing there was something there. So since there was a shutdown last time, I'm curious what changed overnight now, if anything. Or if it was just a maintenance thing. All right, U2 War on cassette. Headed to Mississippi. Just kind of looking to see what sold. Only 2 items in the last hour. And those were within the last 15 minutes. So went an hour from 9:30 to 10:30. 9:40 to 10:40 without a sale there. $3.50 to Mississippi. $3.50 to Mississippi. I think the biggest thing about when it shuts down overnight is on the days where it's running smooth and there is no shutdown. Like when I'm listing a lot of stuff, 1 or 2 will sell within the first 24 hours, and even sometimes more than that. And it seems like when there is a shutdown, all that new stuff I listed just kind of vanishes. It's like, poof, gone. Poof, gone. Poof. All right, Jeremy Lubbock. Sold for $6.30. Headed to Cary, North Carolina. All right, I got an Under Armour t-shirt. Sold for $9.50. Headed to Slidell, Louisiana. I've been playing with a new thing, not a new thing, but something new for me to play with on eBay. Like before they made their changes, at the end of every month, I would go in and I'd write down, and I had a logbook. I got a logbook going back 15 years of CDs, cassettes, hats, and every month I'd go in how many pieces I sold for what dollar amount. And then I would compare it to the next month, you know, what have you, trying to make sure if I started slacking in one area, I would pick it up and try to make the sales and stuff like that, right? So I kept track of how many pieces of what I've sold over the last 15 years. Well, when eBay made the changes to the seller hub, they took that option away in the archive. In the archive, you cannot separate by titles anymore. So I'd type in like a CD or t-shirt or hat, where it does not allow that anymore. So I found a new area. Well, it's probably not new to me area. We're under performance and sales. And then you could, basically has a breakdown of sales by category. And I've been putting it on like this month, so I can keep an eye on this month and see if I'm up or down compared to either last month, or I can do the same month last year type of thing. Whereas like this month, my number one item is hats. I've made $1,000, sold $1,000 in hats this month so far. CDs is number 2 at $568. Cassettes is number 3 at $408. And so it just breaks everything down. So I got my top 5. The 5th one is stuffed animals, and mainly because of this one. $181 in stuffed animals. Or toys, I should say. But this was under other stuffed animals. Toys and hobbies, other stuffed animals. So. I got a bonanza. Oh, man. Going to the outlet yesterday, I should not have done that. It's just destroyed me again. I can't even talk right. I got a bonanza order I need to get out to. That's what I was trying to say. All right, we got Philadelphia Eagles new era hat. Sold for $6, headed to Pennsylvania. Courtesy $20. How about a courtesy not strike on your account? Sorry. Sorry. Refresh this, make sure I got everything that needs to go out today done, but I got a few here that don't have to, but they're going anyway. 9th, 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 and 6th. Okay, so we got one still. But we'll get these others out anyway. Why not? We got the normal brand, St. Louis brand. Pretty consistent seller too, even outside of St. Louis. The normal brand. Sold for $7, headed to Austin, Texas. So that's Alex. I wonder if he's got work today or not. All right, United Parcel Service hat. Sold for $6, Knoxville, Tennessee. And it's not an employee hat for a shipping service, so USPS legitimate stuff you cannot sell. Just like police and what have you. Oh, man. Next up, Tire Centers hat. Sold for $9, headed to Lubbock, Texas. Don't you like it when things work out perfect? Like I just used my last box in the stack with my last box or last hat. My last hat box in the stack and my last hat going out this morning. Which reminds me, I still got to do my Uline order. I got my free stuff from eBay, my poly bags. Because I need them. That might not last through the weekend. I have to use the bigger ones for smaller items. Till I get the new ones. Unless I got some boxes hidden around here somewhere. Don't think I do. Oh, yes I do. Well, boom. I guess I didn't need poly bags. Because I got, are these the big ones though? No. Yeah. Small ones. Okay.
Okay, all right now.
Guess I did need them because I got 5 boxes of these sitting over here that I didn't see. Actually, 6 boxes. That's all right. They'll get used. They get used. All right, Chris Ree. No, not there. Right here. Sold for $5. Cassette. Did I say CD? Cassette. Chris Reed. Cassette. Headed to Carlsbad, California. 2 more items left. We've got Kenner Studio Black Velvet women's shirt, sold for $9.40. Headed to Austin, Texas. Texas. Are you ready for the big item? So I picked this up at the Honey Hole. I want to say I paid $15 or $20 for it. And I had it up, it's been up for, I don't know, maybe not quite a year. I had it up at $170. Never even got an offer on it. So this person sent me email asking about it, if I had pieces that go with it. And I said, no, I do not. Just like she is what you get. So she asked if I would take $100 for it. And I go, send me the offer. So I sold it for $100 plus shipping, which is, I paid $40. She paid $40 for shipping, which should cover it unless they've, I haven't, the shipping rule I use on her was for shoes. Because normally, I haven't sent shoes, box shoes overseas in so long. But when I did, $40 used to cover it. I don't know if that's gone up. I guess we're going to find out with this girl right here. Because she's probably about as heavy as a box of shoes. And we've got Ginger. No, she's not a stripper. She is... Are you ready? Are you ready? It's going to Spain, to her new home. Ginger, yay! It's a Cabbage Patch Kid with a baby Cabbage Patch Kid. How cool is that? Oh, it's a Cabbage Patch Kid with a doll. Her name is Ginger, and she's all prettied up for Christmas. She is missing one of her shoes, and she don't have her paperwork with her. So she's only got one of her moose shoes on, her reindeer shoes. But yeah, so $100 going to Spain. Because I hear the plains, it rains in Spain, but mostly on the plains or something like that. All right, let me grab a box for her. Can I get her into the small shoe box? By small, I mean 14 by 10 by 6. Let's see. You know, if I was still selling all those new shoes like I used to from the clearance stores, there'd be no way in hell my car would hold the items I shipped back then. I had my Jeep Grand Cherokee back then, and it sometimes literally had from the back to the front seat to the where your armrest, boxes piled. I've had it boxes piled up so high they were sticking out of my sunroof before. That I've had that car so packed. So that definitely wouldn't fly in the Porsche that I got today. All right, can we squeeze you in there, girl, without hurting you? It looks like we can. Let me put you face down, this little dowel, so her face ain't rubbing on this box in any sort of way. Making some marks, if you will. So close you up. She's gonna pop out like a stripper in a birthday cake when they open this puppy up. Surprise! Not that I've ever had a stripper in a birthday cake, but I have been a present in a box wearing nothing but shorts and a bow tie before to this girl who had a major crush on me. Her mom goes, let's do a joke. I'm like, all right, I guess so. My friends were there and they were egging me on, of course. So I'm like, all right. So yeah, I was actually a present at one time. Of course, as soon as I popped out, I was sweating. I was like, why did you leave me in there so long? So that was funny. Can you picture me with my long hair, bow tie on, shirtless before I had this little bit of extra weight? I'd be all looking sexy. I'd be like, surprise! Rub the nipples. All right, let's see if I charged enough for the shipping on this, or if it's gonna cut into my profit. Are you gonna cut into my profit? Going to Spain, so that means we use pirate ship. All right, what was it? 14 by 10 by 6. 3 pounds. 0.01 ounce. Yeah. $100. Hopefully it doesn't come up missing somehow. Missing. Used toy dowel. Maybe that would deter the wannabe thieves. I don't want a toy dowel, even if it does cost $100. Oh, I typed it in the wrong area. No wonder you're red flagging me. Use toy dowel. All right, I charged $39.99. Oh, forgot your code. Do you got a code for Cabbage Patch? Or just type in toy dowel. Dowels representing human. Cabbage Patch Kids represent humans, right? So I guess so. I guess that works. All right, what you gonna cost me? $34.99. Still got it. Still right on the money. Money, 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 money. Biggity bam. Well, that made my day. That made up for the other part because I thought I was going to lose some money on that. So that's good. Sales, where you at? Where you at today, Sales? We got a couple of offers to take at least. 15 British pounds. Why are you offering the same amount I'm selling it for? I don't understand that. Normally I decline when people do that. But they got 553 feedback. And actually, that name looks familiar, even though it didn't say repeat buyer. I'll take it. And then a $7 hat, a skull cap hat, accept. So there's $20, about $24 back of my 45 negative started out. How about that? Look at it positive way. All right. That is all for me this morning. I am off to the post office, and then I will be drafting and listing clothes and probably hats all day. So thanks everybody for watching, and I don't think I have anything else that I'm missing. I feel like I am, but I don't think I am. I think my mind's just messed up from that situation this morning. And my sinuses. Alright, thanks everybody for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Later.